remaining.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beyond the Summit. It's time for, well, some long overdue Southeast Asian Dota. We've got 2 live streams going. Myself, as well as PPD from Evil Geniuses, will be casting here on BTS 1, and on BTS 2, Lysander is finally done with his exams, back in action. We'll be casting Titan versus Execration, and Lysander, oh boy, I forget offhand, but he'll be casting some other good game. It is Mythros versus First Departure. There you go. So with that being said, of course, I'm LD, but I have the pleasure to be joined today by PPD from EG, at least my first time casting with you. PPD, How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. So thank you for joining us today, and some Southeast Asian Dota. Do you watch it often by any chance?
You know, I actually don't get the time to watch Southeast Asia. I don't even have that much time to watch Chinese Dota, but I'm looking forward to seeing the games.
Yeah, to be honest, I am sadly out of touch. I've not been watching much Dota at all, which is weird because I cast all the time, but the past few months we've been very busy. So, guys, do forgive me if I'm a bit out of date with some of the team's current styles as far as draft, but I'm sure we'll pick that up pretty quickly. So this match will be Execration, a Filipino team facing off against Titan. Of course, we all know Titan, 4 of the 5 players who finished 3rd place at TI3. Now, they're missing a very important piece of that puzzle. His name is Mushi. Can Yamate fill his shoes? We'll have to wait and find out. But Titan has looked a lot more solid since they replaced Miracle with Yamate, and hopefully that will continue to be the case. Southeast Asia needs at least one strong contender, I feel. But it's a first pick bat, and immediately PPD, or sorry, Peter, it'll be a Slark as the counter pick, I guess you could say.
I think Nyx is more the counter pick than Slark. Slark's pretty good with the dispel, like the first spell, but yeah, I wouldn't really call it like a counter. Like.
Oh, yeah, someone who matches up pretty well, I guess is a better way to put it.
Yeah, he's got some defensive capabilities that can help him survive.
So, opening Slark Nyx, I suppose we could see a support Nyx here. I'm not sure how they're going to look to run this. Some teams run it solo mid. We've seen, I know Fnatic likes to run a lot of safe lane Slark. They've had very mixed results with it. And once in a while we'll see teams run it off lane, but generally only if it's a 1v1.
Yeah, I don't think Slark's the greatest off lane. I like him in the safe lane, but I suppose some teams could run him in a mid. I think Sigma did it for a while on the Western scene, and they had some good success with it.
Yeah, they ran. Miguel, I think, was like the most notable player to run the Slark for them. Where there was that period during the TI3 Western qualifiers where teams actually started banning him in the first phase, which at the time Slark was not really considered a top pick.
He was like a brand new hero. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. Like you see, like Ember Spirit right now is like getting some first bans, even though some people don't think he's that strong, or some people think he's like super overpowered.
Are you one of those people?
You know what? I don't know. We almost lost the WWD tonight with the hero. I think he has some really good strengths and he definitely has some weaknesses, but I think he's a pretty niche pick. So just gotta figure out where to put him.
All right, well, fair enough. Ember is in the pool, by the way. I'm not sure if either of these teams have been running him. But Titan opens bat, so pretty flexible start for their draft. For this team, it used to be that KYXY would handle those sorts of heroes in the offlane, or occasionally Mushi taking the mid. I'm not sure how they're going to run it nowadays, but I guess we'll kind of hold that thought. Enchantress the choice. Everybody knows this is going to extinct. And Titan, they are very much known for their like early to mid-game aggression from their supports. Historically, now, again, I don't know if we'll see that today, but looking forward to seeing how they've evolved. And
5 seconds remaining.
I think the bat will head towards the mid lane here. I think they have enough carry potential with their. They'll have their 1 in the safe lane, and then they'll have the Enchantress as well to back it up. I think they can afford to not have like the most core type of hero in the mid lane.
Okay, so bat solo mid, Enchantress, I guess, remains to be seen if she's offensive or defensive jungle. Slark and Nyx for Execration, on the other hand. You mentioned probably you'd like to see a Slark safe lane. That would put the Nyx. It could go mid. We do see teams run them a lot more nowadays in the offlane. It's like it got rediscovered almost.
Yeah, I think Nyx is an incredible offlaner, especially because of the Radiant. It's a much more generous offlane. I think they could definitely go towards that route this game.
Yeah, and that base HP regen, it's one of those like obscure stats that most people don't know about, but it really makes a difference for a melee hero in the offlane.
I mean, he's also an agility hero, so he's got additional armor, and he's got defensive with the Carapace and the stun as well, which you can always land if you get a Carapace stun. So
there you go. Yeah, very like you said, very annoying for Batrider in particular to play against.
Oh yes, definitely. He's a really good pick against Bat.
So Execration, having already banned Lone Druid, a respect ban towards KYXY, now ban out the Nature's Prophet as well, which could be Ohio's hero. But yeah, KYXY, they used to run him even solo mid at times, the Lone Druid. Kind of like how you'd see LGD do it for Sylar, where normally he plays the safe lane carry, but if they get the right matchup, they can change the lanes up. So no Prophet, no Lone Druid, no farming kind of potential offlaners or versatile heroes in that regard. But, well, the draft taking a very slow pace. Titan will be up next for a pick. Or no, sorry, it's Execration coming up next.
The first two bans and picks went like instantly, and now they're just like really, really slowing down.
Yeah, and it's funny because they already took like 25 minutes to get in the damn lobby.
Yeah, they probably like knew what their initial bans were. Sometimes captains are able to do that against certain teams. Like they know exactly what heroes they want to ban going in.
Yeah, for
at least initially.
Yeah, and for Execration, they're definitely the underdogs in this series. They, just looking at some of their recent results, they have failed to beat any of the top teams, and they've even dropped some games to, like, I guess what you'd call Tier 2 teams from Southeast Asia. So they're the ones with a lot to prove and really taking their time with that ban, down to only 17 seconds of bonus time, but they ban out Darkseer, so they remove yet another potential offlaner. That's, I mean, up to 4 if you want to consider Elder Titan one. And now they're going to go for a pick. Still probably needing a support and either 1 or 2 cores.
Yeah, the Darkseer band's kind of interesting. They have pretty good heroes to deal with it. Oh, there's that AA that everyone loves.
Yeah, how good do you think AA is? Because he got first picked every game in that Liquid versus
C9.
Cloud9 series. And
yeah,
what great for Cloud9? Not so good for Liquid.
You know what? I personally don't enjoy playing this hero, so I don't like to think he's that good. So that way I don't have to prioritize picking him all the time. But he seems really strong, and everybody, like, people just do amazing stuff on him. And you don't even have to be in the fights. Like,
I just got done doing a replay cast of that Dendi game where he played Meepo, and I did not realize that Chilling Touch worked on all the Meepos. That is so ridiculous.
That is pretty ridiculous.
So, yeah, Ancient Apparition, it seems like people sort of realizing how good Chilling Touch is really what's brought him back into the fold, but the Ags upgrade for him, I mean, not something you see every game, but we've seen a lot of players just, like, rushing the Ags.
Yeah, I think just, if you can get a Midas, it's awesome, but if you just go Brown Boot Agnums, that's all you need.
Yeah, I think AUI gets Tranquil Boots first, but it's pretty much Brown Boots and then Ags.
AUI is one of those players that has, like, these really weird item builds, and he's like one of the like support players that gets Tranquil Boots on like every support hero, but then like nobody else in the scene does it.
And then he makes it work a lot of the time too, which is
yeah, of course,
the fun part.
They're a great team. I mean, if you're winning games, you know, it doesn't matter which items are.
Yeah, it's funny. They've got quite a few players with those weird item builds. Like Eternal Envy has some very specific ideas about item and skill builds that a lot of other players don't share, and then definitely the same thing for Bone 7. Although I guess a lot of people have come around to his way of thinking, but like when he started that Mask of Madness bat, a lot of people are like, "What? Oh wait, this is actually really good." Same for Midas Darkseer, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a Midas Darkseer in a while, but yeah, people did it for a while.
I haven't seen a Darkseer in a while, to be totally honest.
Darkseer's coming back. I'll tell you that right now. He's coming back.
Hey, if Universe is playing, Darkseer is always an option.
Definitely. That was something I always feared when I was against Universe. Was the EG Darkseer.
Yeah. Well, normally something you want to ban against him, but if you can.
Somebody's watching Empire replays. We got an AA Dazzle support combination here.
So, talk to me about this. What do you like about AA Dazzle?
You know, there's just like, you just go safe lane and you just farm up, you get level 6, and Dazzle carries a TP, and you just TP to any lane that gets ganked, and I mean, it's pretty strong. I mean, you can even gank with the Chilling Touch if you max it out, but Empire just seems to make these heroes work. We'll just have to see how Execration does with them.
Yeah, Empire is like, they're an example of a team that has like they have a certain way they like to pick, and it just it doesn't necessarily fit into the meta, so to speak. There's like a good week or two period where you guys were playing against them where they just go like Doom, Storm every time they could, Veno, Ancient Apparition, which we've seen some teams have a lot of success with.
Yeah, every team has their own playstyle, and that's why you can't really rule any team out. Like, even though Execration's a big underdog here, if they have a certain style that Titan's not ready for, I mean, they could easily take a game.
Yeah, and I mean, having cast Execration, a few of these players, Chemo, Ninja Boogie, a decent amount, they're not too far off of Titan in terms of individual skill. I wouldn't say they're there, but they're good enough that if they have a good draft and get off to a good start, they can take a game, if not the series. So definitely don't count them out. I wouldn't say put your rares on them, but Titan goes Skywrath Mage and Queen of Pain. And looks like a support Skyrath, probably the solo mid-quap, something that, I mean, neither of these are really things that we've been seeing much of lately.
I like the Queen of Pain. You got to worry about the Nyx a little bit, just with the mana burn, but if he gets an early enough BKB, he should be okay. He's a very mobile hero, which kind of abuses Slark, AA, and Dazzle because they don't really have any like solid lockdowns for her.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
Burst is always good against a Dazzle if you can kill someone before the Shallow Grave gets up.
Yeah, Skyrath Silence, as well as potentially like an early Orchid on the Quap, would be really good this game against Dazzle. And even a hero like Nyx potentially, so... the Skyrath Silence it seems like the reason to pick the hero, and some games it's great, some games it feels rather useless, so... I guess we'll have to see how well Titan executes.
This is going to move the bat to the offlane, and he's probably going to want to try and contest the offlane, just because they have an Enchantress in the jungle as well. So it's going to be really on this Slark to hit his pounces, if they want to force this bat out of the lane. Because they can kill him with the Dazzle and the AA if they land the pounce.
5 seconds
Yeah, with Chilling Touch, I mean, if not at level 1, then definitely at level 3 they can kill him, but I think even at level 1, potentially they can. That's a lot of right-click damage.
Oh wow, Luna.
So pretty greedy draft from Execration in some ways to round this out.
I think they might run dual lanes. I'm not sure though. Like Luna AA mid or something like that. It's a possibility. I'm not. If they do like I mean, I guess they could do Luna tri-lane safe lane. Radiant's really good for pulling and get some good levels.
Yeah, and looking at their lineup, they're not amazing at clearing stacks, but with Luna, it's never going to be a huge problem. So, similarly for Titan, they can get a lot out of the jungle with Batrider and Enchantress. So, Morphling the final pick for Titan. The Waterman's back, something that was last seen terrorizing everyone at TI2 for this team, but has not been seen much of in a long time. I know Envy's trying to bring him back.
He's a good pick here. I mean, there's a lot of other heroes that could be used, but Morphling's pretty good against this really lack of lockdowns lineup of Execration.
Yeah, what do they actually have to deal with a Morphling? Like, I mean, maybe the Slark who builds an early Orchid or something, a Basher, but that's really pushing it.
He's gonna have a hell of a game if he wants to go first item Orchid.
That's a fair point. And overall, then, not many ways for Execration to deal with the Titan. Morphling, whose draft do you like better? Do you think the Morphling's going to run away with it? Execration, do they have some other tools to deal with this Titan draft? Or are you just giving Titan the leg up here?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it really depends on how well the bat does and how fast his
5
AA levels.
seconds remaining.
I think they can really stop these early game pushes with the Enchantress if they get an early level 6 on Ancient Apparition. But if the Batrider has a good time in the offlane, I think they're going to have a lot of problems on Extinction.
Yeah, he's already been pulled a ward and he's going to head towards bottom. And on that note, guys, it's time, finally, at long last, we're back to casting Southeast Asian Dota, where we got our start here Beyond the Summit. And we'll be bringing you this tournament once each week for the next, I believe it's 5 weeks, 3 group stage, and then 2 for the playoffs. Of course, I'm LD. I'm joined here by PPD, or Peter Pandam, from Evil Geniuses. And on that note, let's introduce the teams. Shall we? On the Radiant side, we start with Execration, the underdogs. We'll have 4-9-5 games on the offlane Slark. Lumic, who I believe is Chemo, playing the Nyx Assassin. BG01, playing the Dazzle. That puts Bonjourlay standing in, formerly of Team Mafia, if you follow the Pinoy scene. So I think that was a bit of a, like, maybe even a year. That's the last time I cast him. And we have Ninja Boogie handling the Luna. So that concludes Team Execration. And then, Peter, you want to do the honors for Team Titan?
Sure, I'll give it my best shot. In mid lane, we have NWP, aka Yamate, on the Queen of Pain. On the support Enchantress, we have Extinct. On the support Skyrath Mage, we have Net. And the safe lane farming, we have KYXY on the Morphling. And the offlane Bat is going to be Ohio.
Yep, you nailed it. Good job.
Thanks.
And yeah, so Titan running the offlane Bat.
Oh, DD Rune. Oh, he's not
boy.
going to go for it.
Yeah,
That's the worst when you try and contest a rune like that and they get like a haste or a DD.
Yeah, especially if it's like some hero like a tiny with a haste. You're like, oh my god.
Game
Please don't
over.
kill me.
Yeah.
Game over, man. I feel like he could have pressured that a bit more, but not going to go for the kill with the supports there.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much regen, so he didn't really want to risk it.
That's true. Only 5 tangos and not a quick way to get that HP back either. So mid lane, Nyx versus Quap. Generally not too fun of a matchup for the Nyx.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have done maybe Slark mid instead, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we haven't not seen too much solo mid Nyx. I think the team that likes to run it the most was probably LGD back when Xiao 8 was playing for them. It was something they would turn to a lot, but they pretty much always threw someone mid who's going to lose the lane and just made up for it elsewhere. But that's going to be a tough matchup for him in the off lane. As for the Slark, with that Skyra silence, I feel they could potentially kill him. Not now, but later on when the Enchantress shows up. And speaking of that Enchantress, Extinct, he loves his greedy jungle, gets a Wildkin, already stacking and looking to get a lot of farm out of the woods.
Yeah, he did the double stack. He cleared the hard camp and stacked both camps at 1 minute. It's pretty good if you can pull it off and not get the mud golems.
Yeah, well, that one comes down more to luck than skill, but
I mean,
a little bit of both there.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, Bonjourlay eating some harass, and it just doesn't seem like they can keep this Batrider out of the lane, Peter. Like, he's getting gold, he's getting experience, he's somewhat denying the pull to them.
Yeah, it's tough with these supports. They don't have any stun or anything early levels, and they're really abusing that fact.
Should they be doing anything differently, or they're just kind of screwed by the matchup at this point?
I mean, they really need to just, like, if they're going to go for a kill on them, they need to go for it and commit to it. And just, like, the Luna needs to come over and throw some Lucent Beams, and they need to have the Aura to get the plus damage. But, I mean, eventually he is going to get forced out once the supports are able to do pulls easily and keep the lane in control.
And one thing you can do when you're running the offlane bat is just stack the woods for him. And you can see Extinct, he stacked the big camp. He got mud columns in the medium, but I guess the issue is he may just take all this farm for himself rather than leave it for the bat. But doesn't seem like Ohio needs it so far.
Yeah, no, I think he'll try and clear it himself. Or he'll just try and go gank with a couple of these big creeps.
Yeah, Bonjourlay just throwing out the auto attack. Still has not actually dropped the Chilling Touch in this latest engagement, but he'll pop the Cold Feet now. And Ohio will happily farm the creeps. So yeah, he's getting a lot.
He's doing really well. Like, I mean, it's really hard to deal with this, but he is playing it pretty well.
Yeah, and as for the offlane Slark, level-wise is not quite there with the Batrider, but it looks like the wave... no, he's not really pushing either, so he's just falling behind in terms of experience.
Well, the thing about Slark is not only does he need experience, he also needs gold. Like, he needs, treads or drums, or he needs a couple items in order for him to really just take over the map like he wants to.
Yeah, and there's no catch-up mechanic for a Slark. He's not going into the woods and clearing a big stack of creeps later on.
No, he's a hero killer.
Well,
he's not a hard farmer.
not right now.
Unless you get a recovery Midas, then
right.
Your game can be salvaged.
Yes, the recovery Midas on Slark, though. That's normally not the ideal situation to be in.
Any hero, recovery Midas, get you back.
Oh, unless you're RTZ on OD, then you get your, 30-minute recovery Midas and still carry.
Oh my, I'm not sure he'd still be in that game at 30 minutes Midas.
We'll see a silence top lane, as well as a concussive shot. They go in 495, wave over the top, and he tries to leap up onto the cliff, can't do it. Now cornered, and that'll be your first blood. Well done by KYXY.
Can't leap up there, doesn't work.
Yeah, he thought he was Batrider. He's not Batrider. And speaking of that, Bat picks up a bottle, so Ohio not only not dying, but also continuing to get more levels out of the offlane. It's even up a bit, but we'll now see him contest, and with the bottle, he can check the runes, he can steal the creeps, and there's still just nothing Execration can do to stop him. No Nyx here, no Slark here. These supports just aren't going to kill him. Well, maybe now. No, even then.
And this Nyx assassin that we talked about earlier is just getting absolutely demolished mid lane.
Yeah, I think Yamate's enjoying this particular matchup as top lane, they're hunting. And if Slark gets silenced here, looks like he'll be okay. Extinct did come in with 2 creeps, and, well, Slark gonna try to stop this push, but really not the best hero to do it.
Yeah, and Titan did a really good job here of setting up the push. They obviously did a single pull on their creep stack, and they got the double wave with the wagon. So they pulled it I think they probably pulled it 3 minutes, and 3:30 brings the wagon. So you have the double wave.
Yeah, and it's against an offlaner who just can't stop pushes anyway. And, well, KYXY gonna miss the last hit on the tower, but, well, that's an early tower. To combat it, Ninja Boogie goes for a really fast Midas on the Luna. Going greedy. We'll have to see if Titan look to punish this in the mid game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what the Morphling builds. I've seen a lot of different builds. Some people really just rush the Ethereal Blade. Some people go for the Lincolns first. I think he'll probably just rush Ethereal Blade, but it'll be interesting to see what the C scene is doing with this hero.
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of ways to itemize him. Probably one of the most versatile carries in that regard. You can even do... We've even seen people go for, like, BKB Rush. Seems a little bit less common since the increase in mana cost to morph, but you do see it once in a while.
Yeah, BKB is not generally the best first item just because you start working down those charges.
Radiant's bottom
Right.
tower
But if you're in a desperate situation where you can't farm the map and you really just need to go fight, it's definitely a viable pickup.
Yeah, looking at this game, I mean, they've got other, like, damage output from even Enchantress and Quap, but he is still their one position, and he's not under pressure, so I imagine we'll see something greedier out of him. I actually saw a naked Midas rush on a Morphling today. That was interesting. Worked out pretty well, though.
Yeah, as long as you can, get it before 8 minutes, it's generally okay to go Midas.
Here comes Lumic, or Chemo, as he's also known, on his first... Well, I think that might be his first rune, definitely one of his
middle
first,
tower
but
is under attack.
he's just going to go back to farming the wave, has access to Vendetta, and that will prompt Yamate to go base, but so far hasn't really gotten active. Do you think they should be moving this Nyx around now and sending someone else mid?
I think the AA could really benefit from having a lane to himself. But what can Nyx really leave the lane right now and get a kill? I mean, it's... Maybe he can come up here and get the Skywrath, who just places a Sentry Ward.
Yeah, look at that. They're really prepared for him, and the Slark, he'll retreat out here. Should be okay. I think wave over the top, taking a lot of damage, but they don't really have enough to kill him off. But yeah, they're ready for this Nyx to move. You know, it was interesting. I cast Liquid today, and they were consistently just unprepared for the Mirana ult. It was at least like 5 or 6 times, but you can see Titan. I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of Nyx play in the SEA region lately, from what I've seen, and they clearly know how to play against this hero.
Seems like they might want to try and do something here. This Dazzle skill build just baffles me. Like, I can't believe he has 2 points in grave like this. I don't understand it at all.
What would you rather see? Max Poison Touch?
I mean, it depends on the game and his laning phase, but I think he could probably go 2 heal instead.
And from
I've
there,
been
do you just leave grave at 1, you think, or...?
You just have to, like... The way I do it is just kind of like... You just have to feel out the game. You got to think, like, oh, am I going to need some defensive heals, or am I going to need to be aggressive and get this mini stun going?
Radiant's top tower
And
is under
this game, I think he probably needs the mini stuns since they don't have that many. Or like the level 4 thing that does the stun twice.
Yeah, and to be honest, they just don't... I mean, we mentioned they just don't have a lot of lockdown. Whether it's for the Morphling, Quap, or the Bat Rider, they need every bit of slow stun that they can get. These heroes are not easy to kill.
It's a nice regen rune for Yamate.
Yeah, he spammed all his mana, has the treads, pops the regen, heads back mid, and something Chemo desperately needed there is he's also quite low. But top lane, KOXY with an aggressive move forward. It's going to be a Linken's Rush. And, well, they'll rotate Dazzle here so he gets some experience, but no movement from Slark, Bat, or Nyx. The Bat, I believe, getting close to his Blink Dagger.
Yep, 400.
As Titan smokes up, 3 up the river. Net in front. Nope, now it's the Enchantress. Only level 4, but they make it safely past the high ground.
They should know something's up. There's nobody mid right now. They have a ward there.
And they do seem to be worried, but I don't know if it's in time. They go on Ninja Boogie. Where's that lasso? Doesn't get it off yet. Ninja Boogie has Eclipse. He's going to pop it. Ohio melts instantly. It's a 1-for-1. But now the Nyx is afoot. And he might get a couple here with an Impale. Lining it up. Can he connect? Just settles for Extinct. Extinct, no heal activated. He'll fall. Not the most well-executed dive. And now Yamate, considering a jump forward. Now he'll leap away.
That's a good job by the Nyx. A lot of Nyxes get pretty greedy with their Vendettas, and they always trying to get the hit off, but he knew he only needed the stun there, so he just threw it out when he knew he could get it.
Yeah, while that's happening, this Morphling was going really deep top lane. Doesn't quite kill a 4-9-5 games, then replicates into mid. And, well, the Kappa 2 hero Impale. There's no real follow-up to this, but... Yeah, that Nyx just got the easy 1-hero stun, like you said, and secured the kill, so... In the end, the Bat Rider initiation was not really the best. Ohio just kind of ran forward, didn't have Blink, and just couldn't get in range fast enough for Lasso.
That was a really good fight for Extinction. And especially, like you said, the Morphling dove really hard top. Every time he dies like that, he's, maybe missing a creep wave, or it's slowing him down a bit. And,
he didn't actually die. He was just pressuring really aggressively.
No, I said dive, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, the Luna will probably outcarry the Morphling, I would imagine, especially with this Midas.
Yeah, and just no real pressure on the Luna after that, aside from that one gank, but the pressure may come in a little bit. Yamate appears to be rushing an Orchid on the Quap. And
Dire's
outside of
bottom
that, it's
tower
mainly the
is
bat
under
blink they're
attack.
waiting on, but awful luck here with the jungle.
This might be why the Dazzle is doing this skill build. Now that I think about it, for the Bat Rider, so you can always get the Grave on the lasso target. When you have this Grave maxed out, it's actually 1,000 range is like so much, and it's just like you can cast her from like all the way across your screen. So they can probably get that on whoever gets lassoed if they need it.
Yeah, and that is really the only initiation for Titan. Maybe later on with an Orchid, or if the Morph ever gets to the Ethereal Blade, they can just try and snipe somebody. But if they have lasso, if they have a Grave to deal with lasso, there's just no other real immediate lockdown from Titan. I guess
Yeah,
there's the Skywrath Silence, but that's not much.
He is going to Orchid on Quap, so they'll be really on this Nyx to get some good carapaces and some good stuns, and they could destroy this Quap without the BKB.
Yeah, so far we've seen Chemo mostly reactionary, not really trying to force the ganks, and it's been reasonably effective, I guess, but now they'll send a Replicate along with the rest of Titan. They're smoked up, take advantage of Morphling's mobility while he farms mid, and they're going to try and force something bottom. Let's see if Execration is prepared for this. They, for the time being, don't have Eclipse. It's about to come online, and Ninja Bogey, with that fresh Blink Dagger out, could be caught any moment now. Is there a Blink Lasso? Yes, there is. He walks right into it. Not where he wants to be, and quickly gets dealt with. Suddenly 2 TPs, but just a bit too late. And they're still chasing. They've got a Quap ult here. They want to dive. Dazzle? No. Not going to go on him just yet.
Dire's middle tower.
70 sentries. Enchantress is one.
Now they go in on Bonjour Lay. There's a Skywrath ult. They blow up too. Well executed gang. Beautifully placed ult from Net. And now the concussive shot onto Chemo. In comes the Slark, finally joining the fight. But it seems like it might be too late. He tries to focus Yamate. Has stick charges. Will blink forward. They clean up 4 in the end. The lone survivor, the Slark. 1 by 1. Execration just getting picked off.
Yeah, I was not a fan of how they those reactionary TPs for Luna. As soon as Luna got lassoed, they just need to know that Luna's dead. You can't help her, and they just need to work the rest of the map to try and catch up.
Yeah, and then not only those 2 Ps, but then Slark TP'd in super late, like way after any chance of winning the fight was over. And didn't die, but also did nothing during that time. And you mentioned he needs farm. He is not really getting much. 22 CS at 12 minutes in. Just has boots, a bracer, and 800 gold. Not a good start for him.
Yeah, the CS lead is really in favor for Titan. They're just farming so much better.
The good news is Ninja Boogie is farming well, but he actually goes Ogre Club, so not really going for like the best economy build, more of just a defensive team fight build, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if this pays off. For now, Titan, I think, you're really coming back into the game. All 3 of their core sitting at 4 to 6k net worth, whereas before the Luna was ahead, that is not the case anymore. I mean, she's like technically slightly ahead, but barely considering the start and the Midas.
Yeah, and she's gonna get this early BKB just because she knows that she needs to fight. Like the rest of her team is gonna keep her, even her, are gonna keep getting picked off by this Bat Rider with this fresh Blink Dagger.
And speaking of that bat, here he comes mid.
Radiant's top
There's already a
tower
sentry
is
dropped down by Execration, just doing a bit of dewarding.
Gem picked up one Bat.
Oh no. He goes in. Well-timed Carapace will drive him back. They almost got a lasso off there. That would have been bad. But he will escape.
Super early gem. Picked up on Titan.
And actually it was the bat who bought it. Ohio buys his own gem. No
Wow.
force staff, no boots of travel, just straight into a gem.
It's very confident that he's not going to feed.
Especially against the Nyx. I mean, that's got to be one of the best heroes to just, when a bat jumps in, just
until
kill him.
Nyx has Blink Dagger, he's good to go.
Yeah, unless he just walks in too far. But so far, Ohio is moving around with this team. Not really off on his own, using Sticky Napalm to scout the high ground, going for some dewarding, and now he'll just proceed into the enemy jungle. And Execration just camping mid with 3, but Titan are farming and moving through their woods while this is happening.
Yeah, that's the problem with the gem now. They have to play really scared. All their wards are disappearing, and they'll have no idea where the bat is.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the vision for Execration, and it's dissipating rapidly. And you look at Titan, great aggressive wards in the bottom lane. There's a decent one mid to spot the enemy side of the river. And to be honest, I mean, Execration, where's the tempo coming from? There's no Nyx ganks. He just TP reacted once bottom. There's been no Slark ganks. They've just been content to camp. Meanwhile, there's a lasso, though. They bait it out with the illusion from Ninja Boogie. Well, that's a lasso down. And probably a good time for Titan to beat a hasty retreat.
Carapace the fire, just for fun.
Well, he'll wait it out and then he'll TP, so good patience here from Ohio as well. But it's not the biggest loss. Let's see if Execration can actually punish it. Lasso's on cooldown for 1 minute. Seems like some frantic pings are coming out. But with Glyph available, we'll have to see if Titan look to defend this. Bottom lane's pushing, Morphling, Lincoln's almost out. But not there quite yet. We'll see. They want to defend this one. No Lasso, just slowing down the push, spamming out the wave. Chemo on the run. There's a wave forward from KYXY. He does have an illusion up. The replicate will keep him out of trouble if he needs to retreat. Execration, keep on forcing. Yeah, he's really playing like ratty style of Queen of Pain, but so far it's working. He's actually the leader in CS. When did that
he's
happen?
farming hard.
Yeah, he's just been AFK farming top for a good like 3 or 4 minutes now.
Yeah, almost as Zorkid. These 3 heroes are just creating so much space for Morphling and Quap to just farm the map, and they're so mobile, and they're just hard to gank with the. That's a weakness of having the AA and Dazzle as supports.
Yeah, what do they do to a Morphling? Even without the Lincolns, what do they do? And once he gets one, well, good luck. Here comes the Ancient Apparition ult, and a Nyx as well. Tries to get off a stun, but starts actually with the Mana Burn, gets silenced, and then the turnaround comes. They'll take their free prize. They'll retreat out. And by the way, that Quap still farming top. Not even joining the fights yet.
Believes in his team.
It feels to me like Execration are just kind of hanging around mid. Like you mentioned, it's not safe in their woods, but they're also, even when they go there, they're just getting picked off. There's just nothing going their way.
Yeah, the map's a scary place. Their best bet would be to try and kill his Quap while defending one of their towers with like maybe AA and Dazzle or something. Nyx and Slark or Smoke or... I haven't seen them use a Smoke yet. That could be really useful, especially to gank this bat or something. It was a gem.
Yeah, they've actually got 3 in stock and none in their inventory, so at the very least should buy 1 so they can start recharging here, but we'll see.
Hey, I'm gonna check Roshan. They just have no idea what's going on the map right now. They just have to guess.
Yeah, and mentioning the Quap being the ideal target, the Morphling's just unkillable already.
Yeah, no, you can't gank them. It's impossible. They don't have the heroes.
And
the only way they beat this
big
Morphling is by out-farming him.
Well, BKB not the best item to do that with on the Luna, but hey, she needs it. Then she needs a lot more once she gets it.
Just get the BKB, hope for a good fight, and see what happens next.
So 2 smokes picked up on Ohio, buys a gem. Looks like he bought 1 smoke for his team, so really a support bet in some ways, but he's been getting the job done. They'll drop the gem, pass it off to Ohio. He trades off a smoke, and now they look to go from the backside. Execration doesn't see this. They're about to be caught off guard. And they go. The Eclipse does get popped pretty quickly, but Titan just retreat out. Not a very effective Eclipse, and now they know it's down. Now they can fight. They lasso the Slark. The Dark Pack does come off quickly, removing the lasso. Now Ohio's turn to retreat. Almost gets clipped by the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. Does not quite connect, though, while the Waterman hangs out in the river. How appropriate. Yeah,
he's just sitting down there. He's invincible.
He's invincible. The Bat, I mean, fail Lasso from the Bat, fail Eclipse from the Luna, so 2 big ults off the table for both teams.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about Luna is that night vision, and you could really see how she had the night vision there because she knew they were coming, and I guess she was able to react. But
just even better play from Titan to bait out the ult.
Yeah, that was a really good bait.
Now Neck gets caught out. There's a leap, a lash, and then it will fall, but the trade will be the Slark. Yamate still has ult, still has a scream here, and as everyone retreats, he looks for an opening. Hasn't gone in yet. They're currently dealing just with the Luna Replicate. And that's going to be pretty annoying for this team. Lunar Blessing onto everybody. So Titan have a Luna of their own.
Orchid's back up. Wow.
There's a wave forward. The Morphling's bullying. Now a Flame Break comes through. Lasso in 24 seconds. They force out the BKB from Ninja Bogey, and with it, wearing off soon. Oh, that's a 10-second BKB. Another opening for Titan to fight. They're still thinking about diving. They're just strutting up as 2. No backup as their supports retreat out. They're, like you said, fearless.
Yeah, just watch out for that Nyx Carapace, and other than that, you're good to go.
Yeah, and that Nyx still doesn't have a Blink Dagger. It just has not been a factor in this game. 1, 2, and 0. Just not involved, really. Not dying a whole lot, just not doing anything.
And that comes down to the laning phase. I mean, you put a melee hero against a Quap, what can you really expect?
Yeah, and they didn't gank him at all. You know, like you mentioned, Ancient Apparition Dazzle not good for that, but no pressure on the Quap either. Just really left on an island.
No, he just pushes out every lane with his Scream and then collects the rune and Baller Crows once or twice and then just free farms an Orchid.
And now Chemo is making a big move on his own when the enemy is a gem, and he's actually gotten lucky here. He has found net, Ancient Apparition ult to fly. Will it connect? Oh, just off the mark. And then maybe this is time for net to back off. Such a confident move as he eats him off and almost instantly dies to it.
The Mana Burn just tears apart Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, that was really cocky. Sure, they've got these aggressive wards, but there's still a Nyx on the enemy team.
Oh, there we go. He's like, why is this Skywrath Mage here? It doesn't make sense. They have to have a ward.
Right.
It's like, this guy's not this cocky. He has to have a ward.
Uh-oh. Slark, there's an Orchid online. Is there enough damage? Blinking forward. Drops him low. It will be enough. Yamate brains him down. Flawless so far from him. 3, 0, and 4. Just make it look easy.
Yeah, he's really just taking over this game.
And they're gonna get super aggressive. Everybody into the enemy woods. There's a replica top of the Quap. Hey, it rhymed. And let's see if he ports to it. No. Gets Lucivate. Nope, there you go. And it will be E-Blade. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, I mean, the Luna will be okay, but everyone else, best of luck.
It Dazzle's an instant solo kill. AA should be a solo kill.
Just cross your fingers and hope he E-Blades the other guy.
Yeah, I hope he plays the other guy, and then maybe you can grave him. But I mean, that's a 5v4 instantly. Even if they don't die, they're just running. It's tough. It's tough, Peter. So if you're in Execration's shoes right now, is there any hope of a comeback? And if so, what is that hope?
Oh, they're only down like 5k experience, 6k gold. I mean, there's definitely room for a comeback. They just have to. I mean, obviously, Titan's gonna need to make some mistakes, but you know that's Dota. Everyone makes mistakes. So just take a good team fight. Maybe catch them diving the tower a bit too much. A good Carapace on this bat who doesn't have anything but a blink can really just turn around the fights, I think.
Yeah, it's as much as he's been a team player, buying that gem really delays his force staff. Still doesn't have it up. 22 minutes in, and they have 3 towers to their name.
Yeah, in a game like this, I'm sure he would love to have a BKB, but it doesn't seem like he's really prioritizing farming too much.
Yeah, they're really putting him in the backseat compared to Yamate as well as KYXY. And he lurks in the trees now. He's going to pop the Firefly. Gets aggressive on the high ground, but has been spotted out by a nice Vortex. And oh, they're going to spot him again. We know you're there, buddy. We know you're there. Okay, I'll go back. For now. He might go in. No, not yet.
Sark's trying to bait the lasso again. That's another good way to have a good fight, is to get that lasso wasted.
Well, this is a good way to just punish the Execration. Just push in mid, and then defend top as well. So Ninja Boogie will do the same. Gets a Yasha, has the BKB up, but as soon as those rotations come, they start pushing bottom again. And Chemo's got to be careful here. There's a Blink Lasso. Oh, he's got support now, but the tower's in deny range. Who's going to get it? There's an Orchid. It will come out. It gets denied by the Slark, and the Quap will blink away. But the tower does fall, and Execration not getting much of a trade.
Any game can be turned around as well with this Ancient Apparition hero once he gets his Aghanims. And he is going straight Aghanims. He's not messing around. Brown boot, point booster.
He's not messing around, but he is farming very slowly.
He'll get there. Like, give him 20 minutes. He'll have it.
Yeah, like you said, it really can be game-changing, but it's just so late, the game could have been decided long before then.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem. Like, if you're not, like, winning the game, AA kind of falls off.
Yeah, unless they decide to 5-man right into your ult. But even then, I mean, how much is it going to do? And
it doesn't. Yeah, level 1 ult doesn't really do that much. I mean, the biggest thing is just stopping the regen.
And for Titan, they'll just wait it out. I mean, they're tanky enough to just take the ult, wait for it to wear off, pop the heal from the Enchantress, and then come right back in.
Mm-hmm. However, as much as they're ahead, the Skywrath Mage and the Enchantress are pretty underfarmed for the status of this game. Like, their GPMs are incredibly low for how many towers they have and how much it seems like they're winning. Like,
yeah.
they could just die to this Luna like it's nothing.
Yeah, that's really what Execration needs, it feels. Just a big team fight from a Luna ult, maybe a wasted lasso. Like you mentioned, a good Carapace of Firefly. If they get like 2 or 3 of those, they might have a fighting shot, but...
E-Blade's almost up on Morphling.
Yeah, and that's where KYXY could just start taking over the game by himself. He could be in 2 places at once with an E-Blade, and he's able to kill at least 3 or 4 of these heroes by himself.
Oh man, BKB on Quap already. Very fond.
So she can just jump in BKB, Orchid, and just solo kill the Dazzle. And there's literally nothing they can do about that.
Yeah, she has free reign for sure. Surprised they haven't tried to do Roshan yet with the Enchantress Untouchable. It's pretty easy.
I guess I don't know. I was gonna say they're afraid of the Ancient Apparition ult and Luna, but I mean their map control is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they don't want to give up the map control to like waste their time doing Roshan. That might be why.
Yeah, win a fight, then take it, I guess.
Yeah, that works. Might have to fight right here.
We'll try for it now, though. Ohio comes in. There's your E-Blade! Blasts him in the face, and now they've caught another. They find the Slark on the backside. He'll take a spill, too. They could Roche, or they could take this tier 2. Maybe even force out a buyback. Slark does have one, but I don't know how much it's going to do.
Definitely take the towers. If you're dire, take the towers.
Eclipse is there. Wow. Gem's gonna instantly fall. Well done by Ninja Boogie. Continues to run in. Does he have the damage to get another kill? Extinct trying to retreat out. While that's happening, KYXY in hot pursuit, but that's a hasted Nyx. He'll retreat. And Ninja Boogie does pick up a double kill.
That was a great... Oh, that was so good for them. They got the gem as well.
And they ended a streak, too. That was a 600 gold bounty for killing Yamate.
These supports were very happy that they had a gem. Now they have to go back to buying sentries.
Yeah, they got spoiled too.
Yeah, very spoiled.
Yeah,
that like, was so generous with this money.
Don't have to think about where to put the sentries.
Yamate just fed it away.
Please report Yamate. Yeah, he's still having a good game overall, but that is a really big loss. And worse, it came after what looked like it should have been a fairly straightforward tower push, but. It was good positioning from Execration, just hiding on the high ground, and
it's really creative just set up there. Not many teams do stuff like that. Just take a free kill on like the most important target in the game.
Yeah, not many teams I would say want to lead with their Quap with the gem in that situation either. But hey, she has BKB. It's like, are they really gonna kill me?
I think they thought they had a free tier 2 tower push, and then the Luna launch just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, not so free anymore, I guess.
He's really farmed too, the Luna.
Yeah, Manta's now up for Ninja Boogie. And as good as the E-Blade is for now, it's really a single target damage dealer, the Morphling. And if Execration can get like the Ags up in H Apparition, maybe they've got a shot. There's no Eclipse for a minute though. And that's a cue for Titan to push. Execration won't have Eclipse for this fight. That is a big detriment to them. There is a Blink Lasso after the Manta gets used. No BKB from the Luna. Everybody evaporates. A huge Enchantress ult comes through, though. They lost the Luna, but 2 have fallen on the flip side for Titan. They might lose KYXY here as well. Has stick charges. Can't use them yet. Still affected by that Ancient Apparition ultimate. I think it's just worn off now, and the turnaround will come onto Chemo. Low. And Carapaces. Nicely done. Great defense. 2 for 1. They did lose the Luna, though.
The Quap died again, and she even popped her 10-second BKB that time.
Wow. And that was without Eclipse. Imagine if they had it for that fight.
Yeah, I don't even... What killed the Quap? I guess AA ult and maybe...
At the risk of my client crashing, I'm going to open the combat log.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Target.
Because Dazzle was not even there. Dazzle was, like, in the mid lane. I guess it was like a Vendetta Strike. And
the tower hitter...
Maybe a big mana burn before the BKB went off.
Yeah, there's an Impale.
It's probably one of those BKBs that gets popped like while you're dying, like the last second.
Yeah, the BKB popped right before she died, so that must have been it.
Oh, yep, look at AA.
There you go, balling out of control.
850 away, he's back to his hard camp.
Well, that fight did a lot of work for Bonjourlet. He was not having a fun game before then, but... Suddenly, sitting at 0-2 and 4, I think he got 2 or 3 of those assists from the last fight.
Slark's just backing up. He's like, hey, you take this camp. Carry me, please.
I mean, seriously, that Ags upgrade is going to do a lot more than, I don't know, like the makings of a Scotty on a Slark? That ain't going to change the game.
Yeah, Ags on 11, it's a whole new game. Like, you'll see. Like, if he gets it.
Oh,
he's still level 8, but...
The great Pinoy hope for this series. Let's see if they can pull off. It is a best of 3 if you're just joining us, guys, so don't go anywhere after this game. But for now, it's Titan after a convincing early game, leading by over 10k. They threw not all of it away, but a pretty sizable chunk of it away.
They're doing well. I did some research before this for the game because I wanted to like know, because I didn't know anything about this, and I was on Joint Dota and like the cheese things. It was like 95% for Titan, and I think Extinct's doing pretty well.
Yeah, they are doing pretty well. In comes KYXY,
Top tower.
confidently marching forward. Doesn't even think about a shotgun, just waves out. But he's got Aegis now, and he's going BKB as well. So really going just to, like, kind of take the game by the horns with that next, 10 to 15 minutes or so. Not going for more like the late game build. BKB and Lincoln's.
It's pretty standard, I think. He needs the BKB, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely needs the BKB.
It's just like you get a little bit farther in the game, and it's the Luna has 2 or 3 big damage items, and Morphle's just not gonna be able to keep up in team fights, especially not with Ancient Apparition backing up the Luna.
Morphle doesn't have the same tools that a Luna has. Like the Moonglaze are just so strong in team fights, and makes the hero just so good.
And to be totally honest, unless Titan get a Hex, I don't feel like they have anything on a BKB.
Yeah,
aside from the Blink Lasso.
Yamate needs a Hex if they want to kill this Luna. And even then, Shallow Grave will save Luna.
Yeah, and speaking of that Shallow Grave, it is maxed. I mean, he's level 8, so if he had gone for the Poison Touch or something up top lane... No,
it was probably a better decision. Like, maybe not... I don't know if I'd ever max Shallow Grave, but like definitely more defensive abilities.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe just getting like 2 or 3 points, even if you don't max it. But
yeah.
It does, like, it scales well at all levels. It's not like...
Yeah.
It's not like just the last level.
Because they were so far behind, though, he needs to stay way in the back and just throw in some support spells while he can without dying to this Quap.
It's
or the E-Blade.
Both of their supports want to stay back. Like, the Ancient Apparition almost wants to be, like, halfway to Fountain. But here comes your Slark, and there will be an E-Blade onto Bonjourlay, but a well-timed Grave keeps him alive. The Slark's going to leap back, almost has the Scotty out. They're going to create a replicate of this Luna, give it to Titan. If they can keep it alive, just a casual Adaptive Strike comes in. Ohio's still waiting. Hasn't gone in yet. Looks like he did use the lasso earlier. I missed that on my camera, but was not enough to get the kill. And now, they'll catch him on the retreat out. Titan, they lose another gem. 2 gems.
Did he buy that one as well?
I don't know if he bought it. Yeah, that's 1,800 gold that's gone the way of Execration. That is a 3,600 gold swing. Like, granted, they don't get double the utility from 2 gems, but still. That's a lot.
The throw is real.
And, I mean, look at his gold. He'd have a BKB.
Maybe my EG presence is rubbing off on them.
Do you have rares on this game, Peter?
No, but if I would knew my presence would have had this much of effect, I might have.
Ay. Well, I don't know, man. Never count out these Pinoy teams. Their fans are super passionate, and I gotta say, Titan looking a little sloppy after a really strong laning stage. Like, they got those 2 kills mid, and then they just ran in, fed the gem, Yamate dies, and... I mean, some of Ohio's Blink initiations have not been that great either, so... It's unfortunate after the start they had. They just can't keep it going.
Yeah, they're slipping a bit, but I still believe in their late game with the Quap, Enchantress, and the Morphling. And a superior initiation on a bat. Bat just really needs the BKB.
Yeah, and the other thing to consider is this Luna's BKB. Still 8 seconds, but a few more team fights, and she'll be a much more vulnerable target for that Blink Hex, Blink Lasso, and just try and focus her down. And Enchantress close to the Ag, so they've still got some other heroes that scale pretty well into the late game, aside from their 2 main cores.
Definitely.
Well, it wouldn't be Southeast Asia Dota without internet issues. Well, it wouldn't be Dota without internet issues, I guess, but particularly Southeast Asia. As Chemo disconnects. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Guys, don't go anywhere after this game. Out of the bottom of their kind hearts, eClub did give me some tickets to give away. And I'm looking forward to giving some of those to you guys in chat. So if you want to watch in Dota TV, stay tuned for that right after this game. But for now, we have a reconnect, and looks like we're back into it.
That wasn't too bad.
Could have been worse.
It's much shorter than Western pauses.
The worst is Chinese Dota. Oh my god. Well, and like the thing is, in between games, a lot of the players smoke like way more than other regions, and they smoke for ages, dude. I guess
smoke break. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem," because they all just want to smoke too.
Middle tower is under attack.
Except for the broadcasters who are like, "Oh my god, let's go, please," or at least us here. I'm not a big smoker, but Here they go. Execration pushing the tower mid. There's a BKB now up on the Morphling. Pretty strong timing window for KOXY, but not going to find anyone to kill here. While that's happening, Yamate pushes in bottom, and well, he'll just retreat back. So Execration gets the lanes out, and now for Titan, having the Aegis for a few more minutes. Are they going to do anything with it? I still feel like it's that Hex on Quap that they're really needing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's farming very well, so I think they're okay. I think they're out farming. Like when they're just not fighting, they're just farming better. But they already gave up 2 gems now, so they don't really have that like safe farming, safe ability to farm all the lanes.
Speaking of gem, it's 6 minutes until they can get one back by natural means. So
yeah, only detection they have is a dust out of Skywrath Mage, who has 750 HP. 34 minutes into a game.
Yeah, that's painful. There isn't
one armor.
One Vendetta Strike might just almost kill him by itself, let alone the glaives.
That hero's intolerable to play.
Intolerable. Not your favorite support?
I'll never pick that hero for myself ever.
Okay.
Until they buff him.
Merlini's obsessed with that hero. He loves Skywrath. But he doesn't play him support. I feel like Skywrath solo mid's a lot more fun.
Oh, definitely.
Almost solo killing Ninja Boogie was that Morphling, but could not quite pull it off. Well, he's getting big. He's also starting to run low on item slots here, though. Slark's got a ton of room to grow. The Luna's got a lot of room to grow, and it'll be like those secondary heroes like the Enchantress, even the Bat, who have to kind of step their game up.
And Slark finished Scotty. What a recovery story.
Yeah, and his CS, 140. Considering how he started, 12,
yeah, like
12 CS
at
at 22 minutes? Or no, it's 22 at 12.
Something miserable like that. Now he has a Scotty and drums and 2200 HP, the Dazzle behind him.
Yeah, that's a tanky Slark. Plus whatever agility he manages to steal in these upcoming fights.
BKB finished on Morphling. I don't know if you mentioned that, but...
yeah, he's got BKB, but with Aegis running out soon, they just have not made an effort to use the Aegis.
I think they have to wait for next Aegis and get the Hex on the Clop.
And it looks like Ags on Extinct as well. So they'll have some big items, but Luna's almost got Satanic. And then the shotgun's really not going to be enough to blow her up by itself.
And the thing about Morphling and Clop, these are 2 heroes that don't usually go like an MKB, so when Luna does get that, luxury item Butterfly, she's going to be incredibly strong.
Yeah, I guess one of their best assets at that point is literally just replicating the Luna. That's like one of their strongest heroes as the game goes on.
Yeah, maybe, if he wants to save it for that. We'll see.
He's been trying to get a replicate and then hang on to it into these past few fights, but Execration just kind of, like, almost kill it instantly, so...
Yeah, I think Morphling's one of those... The ultimate Morphling is, like, something you want to expend spells on to kill. It's, like, it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, getting rid of that replicate really it limits his ability to be aggressive in the fight so much.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about Morphling is that you can just like pop in and out.
I do love me a good shotgun though.
Once he gets Satanic though, that's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, it is a problem for these supports if they want to stand up front, but the tower will get denied by KOXY. Throws out yet another Adaptive Strike. He does eat an Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, but they're in hot pursuit in the enemy jungle. Titan are making a move.
Uh-oh, Luna's not here.
This could be bad. The Slark might get caught out now. He gets Hexed. He gets silenced. Not going anywhere. Yamate's got a new toy. And it's going to be bad news for the Slark. Will fall. But they didn't lose Ninja Boogie, and no Roshan respawn just yet, so could have been a whole lot worse.
Believe that was a smoke ink, correct? Did you notice?
I believe it was as well, yeah. Actually, I had my camera over them, but wasn't thinking about it, so...
Yeah, I think they definitely... That was their last smoke, I believe.
Yeah, they have none available for purchase, none in their inventories. Actually, for quite a long time. It's 9 minutes with no smoke.
Yeah, they used a lot of them pretty early, and it was definitely worth it. It paid off. Like, Bat Rider, when he doesn't have a Force Staff and he only has a Blink, you almost always want to use a smoke.
Yeah, and now they've got the Blink Hex. Dazzle gets dropped. That'll give them vision of Ohio walking up the hill, but not going to go. Meanwhile, Execration are smoked too. They've got a Blink Impale here. KYXY, no Aegis. But in comes the Ancient Apparition ult. It's going to connect on someone. There's your Impale. KYXY dropping fast. No BKB. Oh, wow. He goes down. See ya, Waterman.
And I think this was a bit of an overextension on the part of Titan. I really think they should have just waited for the Roshan for that exact reason. The AA ult, like, it's such a problem now that he has Aghanims.
And the thing is, when this Morphline's pretty heavily agility morphed, he just dies before he gets to pop BKB.
Yeah.
It's not often you see a Morphling just get solo killed like that, but well, not solo killed, but insta-gibbed.
The Luna used her Lucent Beam, broke the Lincolns, and then they waited for the A ult to launch in, and right as it went, the Nyx went as well, and she just died instantly.
Yeah, really well chained up by Execration, and boy, they would love a Roche right now, but unfortunately for them, Titans got the better luck there. It's not going to respawn for a solid 2 minutes or so. So they'll settle for a push mid, but your Morphling's coming back soon. Not sure if they're going to be able to force this. We'll have to see. Up in 20 seconds. No glyph. Should be a dead tower.
No buyback on Morphling. They can't defend.
I mean, they could glyph, but that would not be a good use of it.
No. They're just going to settle for Yamate, split pushing. I wonder what his next item will be. But maybe like a Shiva's or something.
You think? Not more like a damage-oriented item? He does have BKB.
Maybe what does he go, like MKB? Or
I guess.
What's a co-op carry item?
I think MKB is probably your main DPS item. You can get Desolator some games, but it's way too late for that, I'd say.
So MKB wouldn't be too bad against the Luna, who will eventually have Butterfly, I believe.
Shiva's is pretty strong.
Yeah, Shiva's is solid.
We'll see. I feel like he's still squishy, though. Yamate is still vulnerable.
Yeah, and like I said during the draft, picking the co-op against the Nyx is always a big concern, because if you don't have your BKB on and you get hit by that mana burn, I mean, you're taking, like, what, 700, 800 damage just like that?
Let's see. 5... Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's, like, at least, like, 500-ish, or 400-ish now, and more later on once he gets more items. Let's see. They're making a move through the river. I'm not gonna be able to wait them out here. Ninja Boogie way up front, looking for a Lucent Beam. While that's happening, there's a Firefly, a BKB. It's up on the Batrider. That's a game changer. They find Lumic. They burst him down immediately, but Ninja Boogie comes with an Eclipse. There's an Ancient Apparition ult as well. Good damage done. So on a few heroes, but nobody falls. And now Boogie, no BKB, needs to boogie his way out of here. Ain't gonna do it. And suddenly Morphling with a Scotty is in hot pursuit. 495 games. Can he get away? There's a Hex in 15. There's an Orchid in 1. They'll silence him, but he gets Dark Packed off. And he leaps away again. Probably not even worth chasing at this point.
I'll settle for Roshan. That's good. That was a great fight by Titan. They got the targets they needed to. Yamate jumped on the Dazzle, and the Batrider jumped on the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, and when they go in when they get the jump with the double BKBs, Lasso, and just Hex Silence, there's nothing. Execration, the only thing they have is Grave, but Grave is not going to help you when Dazzle gets caught. Like you said, just a great initiation.
Yep. That's good. And that's something you got to really watch out for in games like this. When you're behind, you need to have like the best fights possible. And letting the team with the Batrider initiate on you is usually not the best way to have your fights. So they need to
usually not the best fight possible.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can counter initiate and get away with it, but once the Batrider is a BKB, there's no saving that person. Like that person is just gone.
Yeah, and there's just the Grave, but when Dazzle is getting caught, not gonna help you. It's where when Execration have been winning fights, it's been like deep behind enemy lines. Or sorry, it's when Titan's deep behind enemy lines. Like they're diving, you can set up a better Ancient Apparition ult, your Dazzle can sit really far back, but when they're trying to force something bottom near the Roche pit, Titan can just catch them in a bad spot. The terrain just really wasn't favorable to them.
I just noticed, I don't think Morphling gets stunned by a Carapace when he waveforms through it. I think it just lets him go. Like, and it absorbs the Carapace stun as well.
Oh, it does proc it. Well, he is invulnerable when he's waveforming, right? So
yes, I mean,
it's interesting.
It's a pretty good hero against Nyx, I suppose.
And he's also just good at assassinating him with the E-Blade. So that's definitely something. Well, he's going to spot Ninja Boogie here. Let's see if they make a go. There's a parade of heroes. He waves in at the nope, at the right time. Okay. Quick reactions there. He sensed something was up, and he just got the hell out.
Minute to finish now. He has his Aegis. They're probably going to look to base push here pretty soon. But it is tough against AA, so maybe we'll have a nice fight for Extinct coming up.
Even though he's got eggs, he's only level 9 still.
He's still level 9.
He's so level starved, it's insane.
Yeah, that's why he needed that lane early. Like when we talked about the Nyx rotating out and getting the AA some experience, possibly in the mid lane.
Yeah, and the Dazzle, who's also only level 9. I mean, neither of them is getting a whole lot.
Yeah, the cores are just pushing out the lanes, and they're just standing in the back and just waiting for team fights. And they usually die like instantly to co-op.
So, do you think Titan needs to break base with the Aegis, or is that just if they can kind of thing?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, I feel like they have all the tools they need to end the game, but I mean, I suppose they could wait.
Oh, well, they might go in now. They've got a BKB up on Ohio, but he just uses it to retreat. His team was a little bit far off. They did not have Morphling, so they say not a good time to engage. So that was a BKB down for the bat, and well, it's 8 seconds. Guess it doesn't really matter that much on bat, just as long as you get off your lasso. That's your job.
Nature attendant.
Oh, let's see. Luna still no items toward her butterfly. She's just holding buyback.
But once she gets it, what do they have on? I guess it's mainly the Hex they have on it, and oh, Yamate is going MKB, so going for a pretty hard carry Quap style.
Bought out the butterfly.
What
no buyback now.
What an unfortunate time for it, right? As Yamate's gonna complete his MKB.
It's still really. I mean, it's still like a quiet item on Luna. It's really good,
Yeah.
and
oh, definitely.
the rest heroes won't be able to hit her, and you know, actually, like if
she does a lot more damage with butterfly.
Yamate's gonna want to hit the Luna now, so maybe Dazzle will have some room to cast some spells.
Yeah, I guess if you're Titan in an ideal world, you get one of either him or the bat will go on the Dazzle, and the other goes on the Luna, and you get both. But we'll see if they get the good initiation. That's gonna be the question here. There's a Slark hanging out top. He's got a TP back, doing a quick buyback check. Only Skywrath Mage has one. No boots of travel, so that's useless. And they're gonna break base or attempt to. Manta gets popped. Titan going hard at the tower, and Luna starts with a Lucent Beam. They do break the Lincoln Sphere, but this time he's got Aegis. Doesn't care too much. Goes in, and there's a Blink Lasso. They've managed to catch out the Dazzle. They bring down the Nyx off the bat. In fact, it's all up to the Luna at this point, but creeps are tanking Eclipse. It's just not working out for them. Suddenly, Yamate tries to turn on Ninja Boogie, but he melts. He just absolutely melts. The Morphling goes in next. He'll fall as well. Yamate's like, oh, I have MKB. I can kill this Luna, but she had Satanic, and she was fully prepared.
They almost killed the ult.
KYXY replicating out, trying to retreat. Once again, another failed base push from Titan.
It's tough. It really is tough. And this Quap has to be extremely careful about how she takes the fight. And she blinked right in. And then she's like, oh, I have BKB, I'm okay. And then Luna just started right-clicking her, and she just disappeared.
I mean, they could have just had those 2 kills and just kind of, like, chilled off of it. Or at least, you know, backed off, take it slowly, kill the Nyx, bring the Dazzle low, and, you know, just siege.
Resetting the fight after the Luna BKB could be a really good way to go about ending the game for Titan. But I do believe they're going to have to wait for another Roshan because of this poorly executed fight at bottom lane.
And while that's happening, Slark, BKB up, maybe he'll become relevant. Not too far off of a Basher for the next item, if he wants to go that route. And Ninja Bogey's getting real confident here, pushing in the bottom lane. Because they know Quap's dead, no Blink Hex initiation. He's just not afraid. The Glaives.
Did you see Extinct actually went BKB instead of Aghanims?
Oh, no, I didn't actually check. I have not checked his inventory in a while.
I didn't. I just assumed he went Aghanims because he had the Ogre Club and the Point Booster, but he wanted a more defensive item. But he's actually, like, worthless. Like, he doesn't do anything in fights.
Yeah. I guess that in-chat ult just is like he doesn't want to deal with it, but I don't know. Like you said, he doesn't do much damage.
No, him and Skywrath are, like, almost worthless. Like, the Skywrath might be able to get a good silence on maybe Dazzle or A, but Skywrath has to stay so far back, or else she just dies to Luna Glaives, like, incredibly quick.
By the way, they do have another gem. I did not catch if the gem exchanged hands in that fight. Was the Nyx the one carrying it? They had 2 by Ohio, so it's really hard to tell.
They bought a third one, I believe.
Okay, so this is the 3rd gem then, you're saying.
I think Net bought this one. There's a gem in base for Titan, and there's 2 gems on the field. So yeah, there's a 3rd gem, I believe.
So Ohio has, I think, there's one in base that Net bought, and I guess they recovered one of Ohio's 2 gems. So That's
Yep.
3 gems they purchased this game. Hopefully this one's the charm for the Titan fan. Ohio will look to get the initiation off here. They go in on the Slark of all heroes, but he pops BKB. Morphling waves in, but all the BKBs are out, and it's Ninja Boogie just cleaning up with the glaive. Brings down the bat. Everybody on the way out. KYXY has a replicate here, but just dies without getting to even replicate to it. I did not see where it was, but obviously not far enough away to get him out. And in the end, they lose 2-0.
The Morphling all died to Luna Glaze.
Okay.
Luna's so strong. Like, and that was such an awful fight. They actually needed to wait for Roshan so badly there. And now they just... I think they're going to lose. I think they lost this game.
That was really cocky after the way the first fight went to go right back without Aegis, and oh boy.
Oh.
They try both teams trying for big plays here.
That's an early game spell. Who needs it?
Yeah, just the clips from it. It doesn't matter.
Oh, he's
they
dead.
get him anyway! On the backside, the blink comes through. They get the mono burn, and they still bring him down. No buyback on the Quap. No, buyback is up on the Batrider, but without the Quap, can they actually win a fight? Who cares about Eclipse? The Glaives are bouncing. The Glaives are bouncing, and Execration are breaking base. The Pinoys are doing it, going for their first lane of racks, looking for more. And Titan just seem completely discombobulated after a great start. 1 lane of racks down. They're going top for the tier 2. That might be all they get before the respawn, but it feels like now the game is much more in Execration's corner. 6.5k up on the Luna. She is 6-slotted at this point. Wish she wants to buy it.
Well, 50-minute level 11 on Ancient Apparition.
Hallelujah.
He's a brand new hero.
Yeah. I mean, once he gets the Ags, the ults just lasts forever at level 1 still, but the extra damage definitely.
Look where the
doesn't
support stand behind their supports. They're like, with 2,000 range behind their heroes.
That's really where they want to be. I mean, both of these.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Like Dazzle and A, maybe that's why they're so good right now. And so popular. So they just don't ever have to go and just throw the weave from like forever away, and
I guess
as well.
If that was true, I guess we'd see a lot more Silencer, right? Because he can just sit at Fountain and do most of his work.
Silencer's a great hero.
Are we gonna see more of him?
I mean,
anything's possible.
Their hero is definitely viable.
Yeah, I know Empire is a team that really likes to run up for Vank score.
Yep.
On that note, but hey, the good news about losing Rax is now you've got stronger creeps to enchant in the lane. It's
very, very useful Enchantress hero.
Small consolation. Small consolation. They'll try and push bottom now. Execration, I've been taking 1 lane of Rax, knowing Roche. Well, actually, they don't know if it's up yet, but for now, they're just going to start pushing. They have a ward near the pit, and they do see the Morphling top. And to be honest, without Morphling, Titan probably aren't taking Roche, so Execration are going to force the issue. 2 heroes really far back. Almost too far back, I want to say, if the enemy's coming from behind, but for now, he's okay. And now comes the reaction, the TP in from Ohio. Boogie has a second Eagle Horn up, just more agility. They start with a Blink and Impale. They Vendetta Strike and bring down the bat. Never got to BKB, buys back immediately. And Boogie's going hard. He pops the illusions, just blows Yamatamp, doesn't even get a chance for the Blink to go down. And everybody pops BKBs. The Luna's isolated on the backside of the fight. Extinct just doing nothing, melting with his own BKB. It doesn't matter. The BKBs are useless. This is probably the end. Buyback comes out from Enchantress and from the Nick, and still the Luna at full HP, plinking away on the Rex, popping the Eclipse. Haven't even used it yet in this fight. Hasn't, rather, and they are picking off backline supports. Ninja Boogie's starting to fall now with the mass buybacks. Maybe it's enough to hold. They only get the Rage Rex. They do lose 4 of their own, and they buy back on Nyx. And maybe this is Roche as well. But it's still a Range Rex down. Pretty bloody fight from both teams.
Yeah, that was crazy. Who won that fight?
Let's see. There were 3 buybacks used on the Dire side, and 1... Or no, sorry, 2 on the Dire side, plus the one earlier for Morphling. Only the Nyx fought back, but 4 died. I would say pretty even.
I think that was good for Titan. They got the Roshan. Range Rax wasn't that big of a deal.
And at this point, like, honestly, they're such underdogs in these fights. They'll take an even fight anyway.
Yeah.
But this Luna is just ridiculous.
What's he going? What's he going? He's going...
Shotgun?
I mean, is that a thing? I'm not sure that's a thing.
Double butterfly? I mean, there's not really options here.
Double butter? Oh, you know, he bought it. Double butterfly. What's he doing? Why is he trying to lose the game? What's going on, LD?
I don't know, dude. What is going on? Well, I mean, he could have gone for, you know, anything standard.
Should have bought an AC. Like, Why does he have two? Why does he have two butterflies? What is that?
But
All right, that's
we'll
my
interview
boy,
him after the game. And see
That's
what
my
he
boy Ninja Boogie. I used to play Han with him like 3 years ago. And
what's happened since you stopped playing Han together?
I didn't know he was on that double butterfly hype.
I don't think it's a thing where you can say it's like on that hype.
You know what? We'll see how it works. Maybe he's onto something.
I mean, to be fair, ignoring the evasion, it is really cost-effective DPS on Luna, but there's other good damage items. Hey, if he wants damage, just get a rapier, man.
Yeah.
MKB,
I still vote AC.
Yeah, AC's never bad. It's good for breaking the base.
Makes him so tanky.
And as though this Luna isn't already tanking up. There's also the Era Eye of Scotty.
Oh yeah, I think it's a Fnatic thing. They love Scotty.
Yeah, and not to bring up bad memories, but I think a lot of people agree that those two Eye of Scotties in the series versus Orange might not have been the best item choice at TI3.
They did lose that game, didn't they?
Yeah, but they're still buying Eye of Scotty, so they must know something we don't.
You live and you learn.
I mean, I personally enjoy it a lot as an item, but it just feels like when you get to this stage of the game, there's better choices.
Yeah, almost always. Although it's pretty good on Slark. I think
Yeah.
everyone buys it on Slark still, no matter what. I think most of the time.
Yeah, I guess you're not planning for the game to go 60 minutes with a Slark most of the time.
I wish Slark had a Basher. I love Basher on Slark.
It's going Ultimate Orb, so maybe a Hex?
I think he's getting a Lincoln's and he's just gonna put it on Luna.
Yeah, that could work too. Speaking of that Luna, almost 200 agility. So, for what it's worth.
He's got a buyback and boots of travel for this next fight, so.
34k net worth. He is maxed out at this point, pretty much.
Hey, if you call two butterflies maxed out, I guess I can agree with that.
I mean, gold-wise, it's maxed out. Gold-wise,
Yeah,
it's definitely.
that's for sure.
Well, for now, Titan are playing defense, and while that's happening, Execration just slowly pushing in all the lanes. Even if they lose this fight, they don't want Titan to march back down mid. But we'll see if they have any intentions of losing it. For now, they'll pop the Manta, they'll begin the siege, and KYXY. Also, it's not the best hero for, like, AoEing a wave down the way a Anti-Mage or a Luna can at this stage of the game. No cleave, no bouncing glaze for KYXY, so it's just slow, plodding work as he tries to push down mid. And Aegis, 3 minutes to go on it. Will it be the difference maker? Okay, these teams need to fight.
No, I think they should wait out the Aegis.
No, I mean for the viewers.
Oh.
Yeah, wait out the Aegis. Why force it? You already have 1 lane of X down, 1.5. If you wait out the Aegis and then go, Titan are gonna have a real hard time taking a fight.
I think they're gonna go for it. I think they're just gonna walk up.
The Lincolns will wear off. It gets reapplied immediately onto Ninja Boogie. He'll pop the Manta. There's no glyph, but one gets enchanted. Suddenly there's a very strong Luna on the enemy side.
And they can't kill it either. It's got the 2 butterflies.
But at the same time, Boogie, just the main hero, doing some pretty heavy work. I mean, the one other thing to consider, which I guess we haven't discussed, is that Butterfly Evasion does stack now. But there's an MKB on Quap, and there's a Hex on Quap. So
do you know how it works? If it's like
it's diminishing returns. Like,
yeah, so it's like 35% of 35%, or the
right. It's only if the one doesn't proc does it roll the other. But hey, in theory, it's more evasion, right? So
I mean, yeah, it is, but
all right. I'm not really defending the item choice, just to be clear. Just edifying the viewers. All the good people out there. Hope you're enjoying the game. It's only game 1 of our first best of 3. We've got 2 coming your way. I think the more interesting one in terms of names, anyway, is Orange versus Scythe. HY and Miracle's new team. Supposedly not a very serious team. I know Miracle has military service starting later this year. And HY, not necessarily 100% dedicated, but still some titans from Southeast Asia duking it out in our next series. But for now, just waiting to see if Execration can seal the deal. Looked like Titan's game, and then they've kind of let it slip away since then.
is that the next game we're casting?
Well, this is a best of 3, and then after that, yeah, it's Orange versus Scythe.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Well, Legendary HYHY. Free to play, coming to a theater near you soon. Or at least to a Steam near you soon. And he's one of the star characters in that.
Characters?
Yeah. Well, he seems like quite a character, but they're starting the fight off now, which is with some glaives. From the side comes the Morphling. There's an Impale. A blink in. They've caught out Yamate, but can they finish the job? He's low. He cheeses. He BKBs and turns it around. The Luna glaives bouncing through. They have forced out a glyph. And, well, now the tower quickly dropping. If they can't kill this Luna, they're not defending. They'll try to do it, but Ninja Boogie still a Satanic. Everybody's forced off the lane. Can't even defend. Slark leaping forward, drops 1 gem in the midst of the chaos. There's a buyback from the bat. A Hex onto Chemo. Desperately, they want to bring him down, but a nice grave will secure Ninja Boogie's life for now. He turns around, works on the Morphling, who also falls immediately, but coming back now with a buyback. And while that's happening, the range Rex has fallen. Bottom lane's pushing in. Ninja Boogie's boots have traveled across the terrain. He'll take down bottom while the buybacks... Oh, sorry, no, he bought back and then rejoined the fight bottom. But he's taking Rex either way. That's the damn point. The melee Rex has
Objective-based Dota. He's a game winner.
Not chasing kills, not diving the fountain, not TPing back into the fight. He takes Rex. They've taken range Rex. That's 2.5. 1 half to go. And that should pretty much be it. If Titan can't win the game, and like the
only way they can lose is if Ninja Boogie dies right now. But they're doing the smart thing and just running back to their base.
Yeah, make Titan come to you. By the way, in that fight, 5 buybacks were used. So a lot of bodies hitting the floor. Now, speaking of objectives, Titan's got 1 objective, and that's just march down mid, get something now. While these heroes are dead. But they've got their work cut out for them. KYXY still trying to deal with the push bottom. At long last, he has an MKB. That'll deal with your double butterfly Luna, I suppose. Could make a big difference in these fights. But we'll have to see. For now, the Luna just seems godly. This is probably going to be it from Titan, though. Boots will travel in from KYXY. He'll send a replicate back bottom, I guess, just in case. But if they lose this fight, there's just no buybacks for their team. Not a single one. So they're going high ground now, and they got to make it work. Ninja Boogie's here. The Ancient Apparition ult coming in. It'll deter this push for now, but there are BKBs ready if needed. They will go on the Ethereal Blade, pop it on the Boogie. But he's still alive, standing strong. KYXY, no E-Blade, no Manta, and no Linked Sphere. He's used up a lot of these abilities. They got it back, I think.
Well, I don't think they can afford the back.
Well, this is looking tough. How do you start this fight?
Man up, Dota. Battlerator's got to make a play.
No, there's going to be a smoke. It's Execration's turn to make a play. You'll never see this one coming, they say, and they start on Yamate. Instantly, he's dead. No buyback on him, but they are losing quite a few other heroes. 3 cores down. Beautiful Gambit, and Execration do it. They take game 1. The Pinoys slapping down Titan in game 1 of this best of 3. A 61-minute epic.
That's like a huge upset, isn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely an upset. I mean, Execration, it's not like unknown amateur players. They're established, established pros from the Philippines. But hey, this is Titan. Sure, missing Mushi, but 4 of these players finished top 3 at TI and almost got to the finals. So,
oh yeah, that was definitely
impressive performance. But only game 1 of a best of 3.
Maybe Titan's gonna set their game up before they get eliminated or whatever, or however this tournament works.
Yeah, well, best of 3, and then we'll see what happens from there. But Peter, anything they can do differently? What stood out to you about Execration? What is Titan doing wrong? What should we see in game number 2 if they're playing their best?
I really like the Luna's just such a good hero. Like they had
like a lot. I think the draft was better on Radiant, even though they misplayed a lot in the early game. And I guess the Dazzle AA are just real game winners right now.
Well, you mentioned the eggs, and I was like, yeah, if it goes another 20 minutes. And then they promptly won that huge team fight top, and the game just turned around from there.
Yeah, but Titan through. There's no doubting that. Like, they just need to shape their game up and just not make silly mistakes.
Well, you're on EG, so I can't argue with you when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You guys have not been throwing much lately, though, so hopefully the curse is broken.
I mean, too early to tell, I think.
All right. Well, I'm knocking on wood for you, buddy. But, guys, of course, he's PPD, or Peter from Team Evil Geniuses. If you enjoy his casting, follow him on Twitter, twitter.com/PPDDota. But for now, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with Game 2, Titan Now trailing Execration 0-1 in the best of 3. Stay tuned.